Ahem. Prepare to witness the best shot you've ever seen. My mouth spoke against me again. Rocket science, particle physics, those are child's play compared to scoring one single basket here. Luz proceeds to focus entirely on defending against me. She steals the ball away from me every time that I so much as touch it. If I manage to receive a pass, she sticks to me like glue. She uses all kinds of dirty tricks on me without any signs of remorse. At one point, she even tries to pull my pants down a little so that I can't receive an incoming pass. What's your problem? As long as the referee doesn't call it, it's not illegal. What's going on? Say what? That was pretty much sexual harassment. Ha! Look who's talking. I guess it's payback, because we, like Kieran, also did similar things to her during the game. Was that a laugh? Wow, you sound like a hyena. Amazing. A hyena? No? What'd you say? The girl with the laugh of a scavenger turns as red as a tomato. She's ashamed, and really, who wouldn't be? It causes her to let her guard down for a few seconds, long enough for me to receive a pass. I've said this already, but man, the main character is a bully. Nonetheless, she comes right back to defend against me as soon as she recovers some of her pride. The most interesting part is that she now looks more worried about clearing up the misunderstanding than playing the game. Now's my chance. Until now, all I've managed to do is defend by using the rules in my favor, but I can't use those same tactics offensively. Wait, maybe there's a way. What are you muttering about? Come on, throw before the shot clock runs out of time. It's not like you'll get another chance to score from the three-pointer lie. Ah! I don't lose any time in getting into position to throw the ball. I jump higher than I've ever been before, hoping that I'll be able to repeat the score miracle again. Don't you dare! My rival's reflexes shine as she manages to jump right after me. Her agility becomes clear when she's able to reach the same height as me, through pure strength of legs and determination of will. Luz is able to compensate for the difference in height between us, hindering any chance of me throwing the ball and destroying my chance at the miracle. Good thing I never believed in them in the first place. Nani? The strict rules about contact and fouls, those together with my usually nervous and nimble rival. I can't win against Luz. She's faster and better than me in every sense. However, that's also precisely her weakness. She's always too quick to react to my movements. That means I can force her to commit a foul if she touches me while we're moving. There's only one moment where we're moving that she can't react in time. During a jump. What the? My jump isn't straight upwards, but instead slightly angled forward. Should be enough for me to collide with Luz and cause a foul while I make a shot. But maybe I went a little overboard. Oh, it's the old anime trope where we bump into a girl. Both of us fall to the floor, one on top of the other, causing a strong impact. Yes, this would be one of those moments where you'd expect to accidentally touch things that you shouldn't and be happy about it, right? Reality isn't actually like that. Instinctively, I close my eyes during the fall, and apparently fall on top of Luz with my full weight slamming against her. That sounds painful. After we hit the floor, I started hearing voices approaching us, and judging by the sound, it isn't looking very good for either of us. I open my eyes and crawl off of Luz. Excuse me. She has her hands on her chest and a pained expression on her face. Are you okay? Are you okay? Crap, I didn't mean for that to happen. Sorry, I think I fell elbow first and I didn't. I'm worried about her. I try to apologize over and over again, but I don't know if it can undo the damage I've done to her. Even the coach comes over to try and check Lucy's condition. He looks pretty worried and tries to get her to tell him how she's feeling before he decides what to do next. She only says one sentence. He score? That's all she cares about. Everyone falls silent, each looking equally confused. What is she even talking about? Did he score with that shot? No, of course not. Guess I win. Luce cackles loudly, as if nothing had ever happened. It looks like she's fairly injured, but evidently she's more interested in finding out whether or not she's victorious and then gloating about it. That's all you got to say? It was only a small slam. Sports are like that. You can't play without expecting to get knocked around occasionally. I'm speechless. I could have sworn that was more than a small slam. Nobody would believe that after seeing how she was acting a minute ago. Is she a masochist or something? Masochist or masochist? Or masochist? I think it's masochist. Are we done playing? Again, that was really nothing. Are we... Oosh. Ouch, rather. Luz can't hide the consequences of her injury any longer as she tries to stand up. Considering the situation, our coach forces her to go to the infirmary even though she initially resists. She opposes it but ends up agreeing to go anyways, accompanied by a few of her teammates for support. Before leaving, she gives me one last warning. I'm not done with you yet. See you soon, John Mackenzie. I guess that's the fake name we gave her. For a moment there, I was worried. Really worried after how awful the situation had gotten and how things could have ended, and even after all that, she still believes that my name is John Mackenzie. Well, whose fault is that, Kieran? I think it's yours. A few minutes later, I sit on the bench after requesting a break. Ziva is still nowhere to be found. I don't want to think about where she could be anyways. In the end, it seems that I only came here to get in even more trouble with Mysterious Girl X. At least, now I know her name though. But at what cost? First, I snuck into her apartment. Now I've elbowed her. Why did all of this have to happen? I don't get it. I sincerely don't know what I'm doing. I haven't even figured out anything about those emails yet. This prank has become even more complicated and senseless. For that reason, I decide to use the first excuse that comes to mind and leave before the match finishes. I guess that's concluded. At least, well, initially we got the email to, go to the basketball court. But, well, we didn't really resolve anything though, I guess. Just met up with Luce. Today I only want to sleep. I didn't have the best night yesterday, and now I'm trying to rest by napping during my classes. Well, that's only one of the reasons for my naps. It's also a good way to avoid Ziva and Oz's mental assaults. They basically feed off of seeing me suffering. Well, do they? I think you're projecting a little, During the first hour of basketball training yesterday, when nothing except my soul being crushed happened, Ziva was just playing around with her cell phone. She eventually left, assuming that training was over and nothing interesting was going to happen. However, those two are pretty good at reading facial expressions, and I don't want them to bring it up in case they start asking questions. And I was avoiding them both quite well until Oz decides to attack me after school had ended for the day. Hey, actually, hey, I don't know, I'm trying to, remember his voice, even though I don't, I try to do a little bit of a variation when I speak, as other characters, but I guess it's not really that much of a difference. I'm not a voice actor, to be honest, so, hey, compagno, I also try to figure out how to say that word, compagnero, I forgot how to say it, damn it. Compagnero, I think that's how you say it, compagnero? I don't know. Is it true that nothing happened yesterday? Ziva told me that it was really boring and that you only trained. Well, to be precise, she said, the team was training while he stumbled after the ball like a zombie, followed by an evil cackle. Nothing happened. Shortly after that, there was a friendly match, but I didn't stick around for all of it. I was as pathetic as you'd expect, and so I'd rather forget about it. And the evil cackle girl didn't even stick around to watch it. She spent more time playing with her cell phone than watching me, so I wouldn't believe her recollections. I'll forgive you this time, but you really shouldn't call me that, alien. Or Edian. I say alien. Edian. How are my favorite guys? Bad. I don't want to go through that torture. I don't want to go through with that torture. Forgive him, Ziva. He doesn't know what he's saying. As long as you and I are together, nothing is a punishment. Oh, Haas, you're so sweet. Thank you. Unlike other people. As punishment for our sled death race the other day, we've been forced to join this club that Ziva dubbed the Graduation Committee, which we've shortened to just the committee to save time. We have to go to the other side, Anatai Institute, and meet up with some of their students. Together, we're supposed to plan out all of our graduation classes' final events. Anate? Did I say Anate last time? I don't know. Well, are you guys ready to go? Oh no, I've been stricken by a terrible and incurable common cold. Now I can't go. Of course, the classic common cold, always in the Japanese animes where, like, it's the most serious disease ever. Obviously. I'll take that as a yes. Don't get too far behind, we don't have all day. Hey lady, don't underestimate the power of a runny nose. What if it progresses to a flu? Would you let me go if I had chicken pox? Pneumonia. The P is silent. Pneumonia. Phantom pregnancy. Elvis syndrome. Fine, ignore me. It'll be all your fault when I'm struck with the plague. Well, at least I tried. I should probably make an appointment with my OBGYN? Obian? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Is that some sort of organization? It's related to health? I don't know. Make an appointment with my OBGYN, Obian, before we leave though. Out of our expedition of 3, only 2 happily walk through the streets. Who in their right mind would be excited about going to another school after your classes are over? I guess Edian really hates school. Sadly, we have no way to escape it, so we decided that it's the best to get it over with. A few minutes later, we fearlessly venture inside the territory of the mysterious and unknown other side. It feels like we've just walked in circles. Are you sure this isn't our school? I've seen the building from the outside before, but the similarity is still astounding. Well, they aren't that different, but you can still find differences if you look for them. I was going here until last year, so I don't really think they look that alike. It's like with animals from the same race or species. They may look alike at first, but after a while they can tell each other apart and even grow to be affectionate towards them in some cases. Yeah, you know, because even like if you think about it, even humans, you know, are from the same race. And if you really think about it, if you were like, I don't know, to give an example, if you were an alien from outer space and observing the human race from the outside or something, I guess everyone will look the same, you know. We're technically all the same race as human beings, so you know it would be like the difference between one dog against the other from the same breed. You know, it's hard to really tell the differences unless you really know, you know, for example, the dog, you know, the difference between two dogs from the same breed. Very, very minor differences. Anyway. Take me for example. It was hard at first, but eventually I managed to differentiate between the two of you. There's no affection here yet, though. I'm just gonna ignore that. Moving on, I just received a text message telling us to wait in one of the classrooms. We should be meeting up with someone, but it seems that there's some sort of problem, so he'll be late today. Do you guys mind waiting? No problem. I do mind, and I demand a refund of my lost time. No change, large bills only, if possible, thank you. Your opinion doesn't matter, Edian. Then don't ask, lady. Bickering as always. Seriously though, you were pulling my leg, right? This is a carbon copy of our classroom. I'm pretty sure I'll find the doodles I have in my desk here too. And I'm pretty sure it's the same background image we've used before. Or at least, I don't know, I can't tell the difference. The truth is, Us, that I've been hiding something from you until now. I'm actually a planeswalker, and we've just arrived at another dimension where you were never born. No, that's impossible. How could a world without me ever exist? Who else is gonna go flirt with all the hotties if I'm not there to do it? Is that seriously all you care about? Oh, it's precisely because of that fact that this world is in danger. In 20 years, the birth rate will decline significantly. Without an annoying guy to creep on them, women will start getting more picky with choosing their mates, to the point with that a lot of men will never find love. The result? World War III! I think you're exaggerating a little. There's some glaring plot holes in that theory. I see, that makes perfect sense. I always knew that my role in this world was really important, but no one else could see it. So, why did we come to this dimension? Our objective is to travel to the past, so that you can be born into this dimension, El Saikongru. For that reason, I had to bring you here first, or we'd have ended up in the wrong place. The problem is that my time-traveling machine has been damaged, so we have to repair it first. Finally, my 7 years of experience working at CERN will put it to good use. Is this really a Steins Gate reference? I was just joking before, but I guess it sort of is. Kind of a reference. I don't know how you guys manage to get so dramatic every time you're left alone together. Can't you two just grow up already? Then again, it's weird to see Edian doing any of this without Beth forcing him to. I guess this is probably just something that makes him happy. For that, I'm glad. Hey, stop right there. What are you guys doing? This isn't our classroom. While we're making our time transport machine Mark II Ultra's trademark out of chairs and tables, the classroom door opens and an unsettling voice resounds from the other side. I'm sorry for the wait. A friend of mine was supposed to come, but he had to leave at the last minute. He asked me to cover for him today, but I'm not really sure when I'm supposed to... The voice stops as soon as it witnesses Us and me sitting on top of Ultra's Kun trademark, much to their surprise. I'm even more surprised when I discover who the voice belongs to. Who does it belong to? Someone we know? Oh, it is. What in the world is going on? Oops. In shock, I accidentally kicked the machine as I'm trying to get down, causing all the chairs and tables to fall onto the floor. Poor Ross was crouched below them and didn't even see it coming. All I heard were his dying screams coming from below the mess of wood and metal. At this point, though, I was more concerned with our guests. Well, rest in peace, Ross. You! What are you doing here? You know Luz, Edian? What's going on? Who is this guy, Ziva? Oh, wait a second. You two are friends? Of course we are. We spent a lot of time together when I was going here. I'm the one who asked her if she should join, or rather, if she would join the committee as an Entei representative. How do you two know each other? Know each other? That guy? I don't even know what you're saying. Instead, can someone explain what you were trying to do with those chairs and why someone was screaming? So now you don't know me anymore? After what happened yesterday? Well, I guess I shouldn't have said that. What happened yesterday, you mean? You said nothing happened. Oh, it can't be. Don't tell me that Luz was Monsieur's girl X. The floor below us starts violently shaking. We can see the rattling of the bass in the chairs and tables that are scattered across the floor. Where's my sensual cherub? Cherub? Is that how you say it? Cherub? Kara promised me she was more than an 8 out of 10. I need to see that. I guess he's interested in Mysterious Girl X. I didn't promise you anything. And wasn't she a soother of whatever souls? When did she move up the ranks? Alice doesn't seem to care about the bloodstains he leaves in his wake as he inches closer to Luz, unable to contain his curiosity any longer. He inspects her thoroughly, checking from her head to her toes. He clears his throat, ready to give the verdict. I must admit that Kira's previous inspection rated her a bit too highly. This sensual lady isn't at Liziva's level at all, which was the least I was expecting. But I still approve and grant her official hottie status. You need to work on those underdeveloped breasts. Hey, but the rest of everybody will net you a B grade rating at least. Wow, I have nothing to say, Your Honor. Good day. And then Oz drops the mic, I have no idea where he got it from, walks out the door and slams it shut. You're the best of your kind, Oz. We'll never forget you. Farewell. Don't narrate like he died. Where are you going, Oz? It was difficult enough getting you two to come here. Don't run away now. Is this a hidden camera prank? You can stop already. It was difficult getting us to come with you, Ziva. I thought the teachers made us come, though. Unless... It didn't help you, though, so I want a favor in return. Can you come with me to... Request denied, no favors. I'm so excited to go there. Is there any way to convince you otherwise? Come on, Oz, help me. Even one of those crazy screams of yours. Crazy screams? Or crazy screams. Crazy schemes. I see, there's no other way. Oh no. Now I get it. Everything makes sense now. You've had this plan since the very beginning. You wanted to make it look like you did us a favor, but we ignored you, so you had to try to use your charms on Oz to convince him to race me. I dare you say you had even planned to have Oz to do something we'd get punished over. If everything went your way, you could make us join the committee as a favor for use for saving us. Or rather, you could make us join the committee as a favor to you for saving us. Of course. But because you failed the first time, you had to find another way to make it happen. Admit it! You're a traitor, Judas! Well, Luz, allow me to introduce you properly. Don't you dare ignore me! Please, idiot, we have more important matters to attend right now. Do you really want to make Luz wait while we continue bickering? She's probably the best girl I know. It would be very impolite on our part to do that to her. Did your mother ever teach you any manners? Besides, aren't I the only one who can clean up any kind of miscommunications between you two? That's blackmail! And that's when Ziva explained everything that happened over the past couple of days to Luz. The all emails, the playground, breaking into Luz's apartment, showing up for basketball practice. I had to fill in some of the details, and Luz didn't seem completely convinced, but because Ziva confirmed everything, she chose to believe it for now. Who would have guessed that those two are actually friends? I don't know if it's just by chance or not. Everything is too surreal for me to process all of it right now. Especially when I still don't understand why Ziva insisted on Oz and I joining the committee. That's just another mystery that I'll have to get to the bottom of when I have the opportunity. I guess that explains everything, but it's hard to believe, you know. It's not that I don't trust you, Ziva, but I can't say the same about, McDonald Duck or whoever you are. How many copyrights did you just violate by calling me that? I told you last time I was using a fake name. My real name is Kieran Idian. Idian? I don't know. Whatever. I'm Luz Uria, by the way. But it seems like you already knew that. Well, one of my teammates told me your name during the game, that's all. I didn't know your last name. It sounds lovely. That still doesn't explain why you disappeared yesterday. Well, you can discuss that amongst yourselves. I've done my part. Don't worry about the committee for today. We'll just have to reschedule it for another day. You're missing some of the other members anyway. I'll go look for Oz and make sure he's still alive. You guys can keep chatting here. Good luck! Yeah, fine. Run. I'll get you later. Suddenly it's just Luz and I, left alone together in a really awkward situation. Well, it's normal for people who've only just met to have nothing to talk about, but this is just abnormal. I don't know what else is there to say. You know, Luz doesn't seem to have any connection with those weird emails at all, and I'm not even sure if I still want to find out the truth behind them anymore anyways. I guess I should probably tidy up the mess I made earlier. Is that okay with you? Do as you wish. Luz gives me a totally dry answer as a way of showing her dissatisfaction with me. However, once I begin cleaning up my mess, she joins in and helps me. I told you I wanted to speak with you, didn't I? Why'd you leave? You mean during the basketball match, right? Well, I didn't want to play anymore. I didn't know if you'd come back or not. It didn't make sense for me to stay. You could at least come to the infirmary before leaving. Well, it wasn't that bad in the end, right? I didn't think it was necessary. Nah, just broke a rib. Had to sit out for the rest of the match, but it was no big deal. What? A broken rib? And you say that's no big deal? Yeah, that's just what I told the coach, so I could take a few weeks off from playing. In reality, I'm fine. Nothing happened, so no broken rib. Luz taps on her chest, prideful of her fortitude, even though she had just admitted that she had just lied to her whole team about getting a serious injury. I'm more worried about how you forgot about our bet. Bet? Oh, that bet. You stalked me, broke into my apartment, harassed me during our match, and then assaulted me. Then ran away from our bet. Do you think I'm happy about that? Okay, you did win that bet, but I think Eva already explained everything, didn't she? It was all just one big misunderstanding, right? Luz smirks for a few seconds before deciding how to respond to my statement. We also talked about how you had to prove to me that I could trust you. You need to fulfill some requirements. What Ziva told me was really nice and all, but what if she's covering for you? I can't take your word at face value. I need more than that to believe you. So you plan on taking advantage of the situation since you won that bet? More of a hyena laugh again? How do you do a hyena laugh, like ha ha ha? I don't know, I can't really do fake laugh. It's really hard to do like fake laughter, really. It'll always sound fake no matter what. Unless it's genuine, right? Not exactly. I'm genuinely curious, you know? Not to mention all the problems you have caused for me. What are you gonna do about those, eh? I could even sue you if you really wanted to. Let's not get carried away. No need to involve the law. Why not? Do you think I'm bluffing? Alright. If it's compensation you want, then I've got something. What if I show you a place where you can draw in peace? What? Drawing. You like drawing, don't you? I saw you doing it the other day. Evidently, you don't have a better place to do it. So how about I tell you about a place that'll be perfect? Where did you get that idea? The other day was honestly a one-time thing. I don't... For some reason, Luz tries to deny something obvious. Well, she's probably embarrassed about it. It's weird. At first, she acted like she didn't know me, and now she's refusing to admit she likes drawing. She's contradictory. Well, you gotta read people better, Kieran. Actually, Kieran's pretty good at reading people, you know? You think he would read the situation here, you know, before, when he figured out how she was feeling during the basketball game and all that. Oh well. The scraps of paper I saw in the garbage on the day you were drawing in the playground had more than doodles on them. Just like they were part of the story or a comic. One draws outside to capture landscapes, not to create comics. At least, no one with as many scripts as you had left behind. In your room, I couldn't find any of your art supplies, even though it took you less than a minute to get in and out of your apartment. You're definitely in a rush too, since you left your bedroom light on, but you were still careful enough to hide your art supplies for some reason. You returned home shortly afterwards, so whatever you went to do, you didn't want anyone else to know about it. You were so cautious to hide it even though you weren't gone for more than 5 minutes. I don't know why you're hiding your artistic hobby from your family. I think you're pretty good at drawing. Being embarrassed about it doesn't make sense. Well, I guess, yeah, now he figures it out. He just says all that as his analysis, I guess. In any case, an abandoned playground isn't really the most comfortable or safest of all places, not if you want to draw properly. Luz doesn't respond. Stunned, she doesn't know how to react. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything about it. I'm trying to clear my name, but it seems like I might have been too thorough in my analyzation. Okay, let's say that I'm interested. I can't go and follow you around after what's happened. I've already told you that I need to trust you first. How about we take care of that first and then we'll see? I shrug. I don't know what she's thinking, but it can't be worse than what has already happened. As you wish. What should I do now? Do you promise that you won't back out this time? I promise I won't back out. Really? No matter what? Look, not everyone does, but I always fulfill my bets and promises. Good. Good. Then come with me. If you dare. Nani? Ominous. More Metal Gear Solid-esque sneaking music. Let's save. There's nobody around. With my hands stuffed in my pockets and my eyes darting around, I casually lean on the door of the teacher's lounge. After I confirm that no one else is around, I quietly turn the doorknob. Oh, it's locked. Unexpectedly, the door to the lounge is locked. On the bright side, it also means that nobody is inside, which only makes things easier in the end. Now let's see what we have here. I shake the knob a little and decide on the best course of action. I open my wallet and take out my ID, and I swiftly push it through the door crack, which easily unlocks the door. Once I'm inside, I took in one of the cabinet drawers like Luz had instructed me to and find a set of keys. I grab them and get out of the lounge. I guess this is our task? Wow, that was fast. I was scared there for a second when the door is locked. How did you manage to get it open? Well, it's easy as long as you have a credit card or plastic ID on hand. You'd be surprised by the amount of doors you can open that way, especially if they're old. And I always carry a lockpick with me in case that doesn't work. Or I also could have used a bump key. The art of lockpicking is so very beautiful. You know, when you broke into that apartment, I wasn't thinking you were like a common thief, but now it looks like you are, Kieran. And that explains how you got into my house. Who knows where you learned that. I already told you that the door was already open. I didn't pick the lock. Of course, schmuck, of course. You aren't in any position to talk after what you asked me to do. How did you know that the keys were in there? What do you plan to do with them? To serve justice. Oh no. Luz leads me outside. She brings me out near the entrance and into the parking lot. It's empty aside from a couple of parked cars. Look, I used to park my bike right here at the bike racks. At the beginning of this school year, one of the teachers decided to purchase a new car. Not a regular car, but a big one. Really big. It turns out that his parking space was in front of the bike racks, making it harder to get the bikes in and out. Well, let's not talk how this... let's try again. Let's not talk how this teacher didn't give a damn, and every time he'd park, he'd always hit the bike racks one way or another. So I've been forced to give up my wheels and start walking instead, but I don't want to end the year by letting him get away with it. A little revenge. Well, I presume diplomacy hasn't worked very well. Why don't you change your bike up somewhere else? Where? This place is busy during the mornings, and you never know where you'll be able to park. Plus, I've already made up my mind. Here or nowhere. She presses one of the buttons on the key, and the headlights of the large vehicle blinks on. I almost mistook it for a monster truck, making Lucy's complaint more understandable. What are you gonna do with it now? You don't need the keys to scratch the body of it. Sit down. I want to show you something. Luz invites me... Why am I having trouble reading? I don't know what those sounds were. Anyway. Luz invites me to sit shotgun. What's she planning, I wonder? I'll be the first to admit that I love pranks, but I can't imagine this girl being that kind of person. Yeah, I was thinking, is she this mischievous? I guess her smug expression kind of shows now that she is. I'm pretty curious about it, so I decide to go along with whatever she wants to do. I take my seat as she goes around the other way and sits in the driver's seat. Can you tell me what we're gonna do with this car now? You haven't figured it out yet? We're stealing it. Nani? Ah! In the time it took me to blink, we sped out of the school's parking lot and onto the street. Do you have a license, Luce? I've always considered myself a prankster, but this is too much. Too much. I mean, we're stealing a damn car. It's Grand Theft Auto. What are you doing? I told you, I want to test whether or not I can trust you. There's only one way to do it properly. You can't trust someone you don't consider a close friend. I guess we're partners in crime now. An accomplice? Accomplice? Accomplice, yeah. And I don't believe that two people can be friends until they share a secret. What do you think? Will you be my accomplice? There's no better secret than this. You could have told me before starting the car. And more hyena laughter. I'm trying to think. How? I said this already, but how does a hyena laugh? Like ha ha ha, ha ha ha, something, I don't know. I want to see how much it'll take before you asked. In the end, it's true that you always fulfill your promises. Or you're just stupid. Okay, whatever you say, but slow down. You're going the wrong way in the roundabout. I'm trying to, but it's hard. I know which one is the gas pedal, but I can't distinguish between the normal and the super brake. What the hell is a super brake? I don't know. There are three pedals, the gas pedal, the brake, and another which could only be the super brake. The clutch, that's the clutch. Is this, I guess this is a manual drive or whatever. Dutch? Why would they be here? Clutch. You don't know what that is? How did you manage to start the car in the first place? Woman's intuition or something like that. I don't know. Luce makes such a sharp turn that if the streets were busy, everyone in their path would have been slaughtered. After skidding, the car flies into the air with the finesse of a rat, likely also breaking the suspension and lands in the empty vacant lot. Oh, we're all dead. No. The truth is that we aren't really gonna steal it, more like borrow it. I don't have a license, so I don't need the car for anything myself. You don't say! I never would imagine that after seeing how well you drive on two wheels. Ah! Don't be like that. We're only serving justice. I don't have it yet, but in a couple of months I'll be 18 and I plan on getting it then. Have you ever heard about future investments? Same thing here. Yeah, not really worth it. Wahahaha! God damn it. Again, fake laughter, it just sounds super fake if you force it. Too late, you're already involved. It rained yesterday, right? That's why the vacant lot is muddy. The plan is to circle around a couple of times and leave the car covered in it. I can think of 1,000 of easier ways to dirty a car, if that's what justice intends. No, none of those are fun. I'm close to making the interior of this car as dirty as the outside, purely from motion sickness. The driver's obnoxious laughter isn't helping me at all. A few minutes, although it felt more like months, of torture later, and Luz is bored of circling. The car is now in a completely unrecognizable, dirty state. At least now it seems like Luz has gotten the hang of driving, but it's a pity that our luck runs out as soon as we return to the main streets. Hey, Luz says with a completely casual tone. Yeah? What's that behind us? I take a look and answer her in a relaxed tone. The cops. Silence consumes the car. Luz tries to break it but is completely unsuccessful. What's he doing with his hand? Signaling you to stop? So desu ka? I think now is a good time for us to switch seats. Stop the car. With the normal or super brake. Some people say looks can kill, but not mine. My facial expression is more like an ode to the apocalypse. My gaze focuses on the rear view mirror as my stomach enacts a coup d'etat. Out of the police vehicle emerges a figure. What happened to the fat police officers with greasy donut-laden hands? It's not like I have anything against 6 feet 6 inches tall baldies that are as large as bodybuilders, but it's not good for my mental health or heart to face the final boss during the first level. For a second, I'm unsure if he wants to lean in through the window or rip the sunroof off with his bare hands. Are you aware that having a car this dirty makes it impossible to see your blinkers and license plate? Hey, where's the driver? Between how poorly I act under pressure while having to improvise and my stomach reenacting the French Revolution, I missed an important detail. Luz is gone. Well, I think I can hear the car starting to break down under the fingers of the mean-looking officer. I may have been joking about the sunroof before, but it all started becoming more plausible. I can hear the guillotines going off in the Place de la Concorde? I don't know. I think that's also French. You know, I did take some French, but I forgot all of it, really. You know, and I didn't really like French, to be honest. I didn't like the French classes. Anyway, when to my ear comes a soft whisper. Repeat what I say if you want to get out of this alive. What? I guess that's the sound, or rather I guess that the sound is coming from behind me. From that, it's safe to assume Luz is lying down in the space between the front and back seats. With a car as big as this, there should be enough space there for her. Don't play dumb with me. Where's the driver? I'm gonna die. I've watched more than enough Japanese cartoons to know that the aura given off by this officer is no good. It's probably because he's bald that I can't tell what his power level is, but it's likely quite high. I left that seat free on purpose because I've been looking for you all night. Probably only because I don't have a better idea, but without overthinking it, I start repeating Luz's words. I left that seat free on purpose. I've been looking for you all night. The officer raises an eyebrow. Do you know why the car's like this? I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night. The car ended up like this because I went to the countryside to look at the stars all night, and now look, it's bright as day. I can't believe I'm doing this. The revolution may have ended, but now I have Napoleon Bonaparte? I don't know. Napoleon Bonaparte, expanding his territory beyond my abdomen. Abdomen, your abs. And I can't hold him back much longer. I've put in so much effort and I finally found Uranus. No, I meant my mind is so blank that I notice the small vibrations coming from behind my seat. Luz can barely contain her laughter. My vision clouds. The bulky guy looking through the car seems to grow taller than before, and his eyes turn blood red. I, who has always lived free of any sins, which is a lie apparently. So this is the conspiracy that the corrupt government and law enforcement came up with to get rid of me for good? Still lying. I always knew they considered me a threat. More lies. But for it to come to this, I would rather spend the day at home playing video games. Well, that is the truth. And I also agree with that. I would rather spend the days playing video games. I hope humanity remembers me as a hero for what I've dedicated my entire life and efforts into the protection of the Vietnamese swallow and its rights. I don't know what even is that. Although there may still be a way, a really cliche solution, the oldest trick in the book. It's not like it can get any worse now, right? Joking, I'm joking. This is a hidden camera prank, see? I raise my hand up to the nearest sun visor and flip it up and down as if I'm trying to indicate that there's a hidden camera there. Of course, there's nothing actually there, but thanks to my experience as a magician, it's actually pretty easy for me to make others believe otherwise. It's all about how well you can act and lie. It's all in the wrists. The beast frowns suspiciously, then also seems to be calmed down a little bit. It's gonna air on one of the popular comedy websites. It looks like there's no driver, but I can drive from here. Cool, right? Just a prank, bro. Please like, share, and subscribe. Smash that like button so I can live off the views until the YouTube cash cow dies and have to go back to living in my mother's basement. Thank you very much. Alright, goddamn. Here's my driver's license, you see? I take out my wallet while trying to control my sudden Parkinson's fit and bend over the driver's seat as I hand over my driver's license for the officer to examine. Well, does Kieran have a license? It may just be an adrenaline thing, but to me, it looks like he's going to burn my license under the pressure of his fingertips. He sighs, something I personally envy, considering I don't have any oxygen left in my lungs, until he gives me back my ID. Alright, but don't do anything like this again, okay? The police officer nods his head and leaves. I bid him farewell in shock. Well, we got off the hook pretty easily, considering. When he's far enough away, I let out the biggest sigh I've ever sighed in my entire life. I really doubt that this usually works out in real life. You know, at the very least, the officer will probably give you a ticket. For various reasons. Everything's okay in the end. Who would have thought? Luz appears from the back and takes my driver's license out of my lifeless hands. I don't say anything, and when I come back to my senses, I cover my face and try to compute everything that has transpired. And also I guess the danger is the fact that if he gives you a ticket, he might also scan your license and find out that the car doesn't belong to you. So I guess that was the danger there. Although my reaction isn't what everyone or what anyone would expect. Ha! Ha ha ha! No, I'm laughing like a hyena. I can't believe that guy fell for that amateur lie. Oh my god. Luz and I start laughing our asses off together. It'd been a pretty dangerous situation, but we couldn't stop laughing. I thought you were angry for a second, you know? Oh, I am. Don't be mistaken, but being able to get off of that with such a bad lie, it's so ridiculous. What I don't understand is why you're laughing. What's wrong with you? Do you realize that we've just stolen the car or what? Well, there's a small detail I might have left out. That story I told you about the teacher is real, but that teacher is actually my father. Oh. You're stealing your dad's car? Are you crazy? We have a special relationship. We pull pranks on each other all the time. I would have outdone myself this time, but he'll probably find it hilarious. A little weird, eh? Some things are so easy to say, but most simple ones can be the most difficult. She lowers her voice for a second, and in reaction, I turn around to look at her. But she avoids my gaze and returns to her previous demeanor. To tell you the truth, I wanted to do something unexpected to see how far you'd go. Ziva had actually told me about you before, you know? The weird guy that writes in his notebook and always gets in trouble. I see she wasn't lying about the latter, at least. Looks like we have something in common. What do you think? This is what I meant by justice. You break into other people's houses and stalk them, I steal cars. You don't have any more reasons to be wishy-washy around me like before now, right? Lou smiles, and she's a lot more relaxed now that, according to her, we're on the same level. The philosophy of committing a crime to understand criminals better seems stupid to me. Foolish even, but she seems convinced. What I didn't plan on was you having this driver's license. Luz waves the piece of plastic between her fingers, looking at it while trying to change the subject. Oh my, it seems that your birthday is next week. Happy early birthday. Stop snooping and give it back to me before you lose it in here. What I don't understand is why it says that you're 19 years old. Aren't you in the same classes as Eva? Snoop, I repeated a grade a while ago, nothing special. Wow, are you serious? You must be kinda stupid after all. I appreciate that deep analysis, but shouldn't we bring this car back already? Your father must have realized that it's missing by now, especially considering how large and hard it is to miss it. Don't worry, at this hour he's probably fooling around somewhere. He's a good man, but still irresponsible. Is that something you know for sure, or is it another gut feeling? A bit of both. Mental note, this girl is dangerous. Oh, at least the Battle of Waterloo is over. So many references to historical wars. Well, battles in the war. Anyway. What do you mean? What I mean is him throwing up. Without incident, since I'm now behind the wheel, we managed to safely return the vehicle to its parking spot. I carefully placed the keys back in the drawer I had originally found them in, imagining the face of that unfortunate man paying the price of his daughter's justice. When I get back to the school gates and meet up with Luce again, she's facing away from me, distracted by something. That was really fast. It's not like I went that far away. It's never far enough when it comes to you, Juan. Juan? I think the J is silent. Juan? I don't know. It's not really silent, it's pronounced differently. I don't know. Don't give me nicknames whenever you feel like it. I told you that my name is Kieran. Karen? Now what? We're even now, right? You wanted proof that you can trust me, now you wanted proof that you can trust me, and now you even have something that you can blackmail me with. So don't keep complaining. Really? To be honest, I'm not really convinced yet. I'm still going to need something more to trust you. That's your problem now. I've already done my part. But that's not true, Johan. Johan now. It wasn't Johan, it was John. And my name is Kieran. Kieran! John was a pseudonym that I came up with that to escape. But I clearly said you had to fulfill some requirements. Requirements. That's plural, don't you see? This was only the first requirement. The second is for you to show me that secret place you mentioned earlier. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Well, we'll see. If a genie gave you 3 wishes, normally you want to ask for more, am I right? I raised a finger questioningly, trying to figure out how to react to such nonsense, but she was right. For some reason, I was thinking that her intentions were pure, then I ended up getting myself into this mess. Cat got your tongue? If you have nothing left to say, then let's get going already. Well, I guess we're being stringed along by Luce. Normally, in these types of situations, I react by sending her straight to hell and angrily punching the closest wall I could ever find. Or vice versa. Or closest wall I could find. It was really stupid of me to do all of this, but as I've already said, I always fulfill my promises and bets. I'm not gonna go back on my word now. Well, I can get up to a point where it's unreasonable, I guess. I can't live with a clear conscience if I know that I have an unfulfilled promise left. It does. I know that. I can't live with a clear conscience if I know that I have an unfulfilled promise left. It doesn't matter if that promise is totally unfair and it deceived me with its tricky wording, meaning to take advantage of me. Though, I don't know, I guess it's a little unfair, but at the same time, I think, Kieran, I think you're kind of enjoying this. Committing crimes with your partner there. Okay, you did say requirements, so let's settle on a limit right now. Alright, a limit. Considering I've already spent 2, it would be unfair to leave it like that, even though I didn't know there was a limit. How about a limit of 5 total? 3 more requirements? Are you crazy? You mentioned a genie a bit ago. Then 3, that's plenty of favors. How about we meet in the middle and leave it as 4? Negotiation tactics. Okay, fine, 4. Who cares? Great, because I would have accepted 2 or 3, 2 or 3 too. Anyway, in fact, I'm surprised that we even negotiated it. Any sane person would assume that I was joking. I wasn't being serious at first. I just wanted to tease you with the requirements thing, but if you're so generously offering, then I won't refuse. I suddenly realized how much of a fool I've been over this odd girl. Or rather, how much of a fool I've been being over this odd girl. I fell for all of her tricks, a free fall without a parachute, an unclear destiny. I lose my composure and my usual smug behavior is torn away from me. I've been defeated by my equal. Well, she's very smug. Just look at her. Smug. Our conversation doesn't make any sense. The stuff about the requirements doesn't make any sense. When my patience ends, I don't get angry, but instead vulnerable. I'm not the kind of person who gets caught up in my anger. I'm mostly cool-headed in every situation, but when there's a crisis, my will bleeds and I end up agreeing to anything that comes my way, until eventually I find the best moment to escape all of it. Now would be a good moment to make a run for it. Nevertheless, it's true that I'm a man of my word, not a liar. Not a liar, are you sure? For better or worse, I have to keep going until I fulfill that which I am responsible for. I think, again, I already said that, but I think Kieran's kind of enjoying this, though. You were having a good time. So I think a part of you actually wants this sort of adventure. Kieran. I don't know. I don't know how to say people's names. Because I suck. I'm just an idiot. I've already told you that I fulfill all my promises. Even if it was a trap, I'd still honor it and, well, whatever happens, happens. Oh, in the end, maybe you're sincere after all. I thought you were different. Not that this is bad either. Luz flashes a cunning smile, a mixture of dark and pernicious joy that I somehow find appealing. Are you falling for her? Well then, gentle sir, you still have a special place to show me. How about we hit the road now? And you make it sound all intimate now. A special place. On the outskirts of town, beyond the park, near the abandoned neighborhood, there's a small, unfinished library. It isn't actually only a library, but also a cultural center with special rooms to practice painting, music, and ceramics, like, you know, pottery, I think. I don't know, among other things. They never managed to finish it, so one of the wings of the building is in ruins. The other wing is in perfect condition, and except for the lack of water and electricity, it's an ideal hangout. As we stand in front of the abandoned building, I pop open the hardy door, not by pushing it, but by picking the lock. You know, in real life, picking a lock does take a while, you know, depending how complicated the lock is. So just to casually say, pick the lock, you know, it's like in video games, you just do like a little mini game, you know, to pick the lock or whatever. But it takes a while, you know, in real life. But anyway, when we get inside, I shall lose the way to what was until now my secret hideout.